Hello and welcome back to more Collect All Pets. Today we are going to be taking a look at this upgrade over here, which is Shiny Stone Luck. As you can tell from this diagram here, that one shiny stone will give you 1,000 mythical stones. So once you buy this upgrade, every mythical stone you grind, you have a chance of getting these like purple ones that give you extra, like I said, 1,000 of them. So I already have the first upgrade on this ascension. I'm on my third ascension here. So the first upgrade gives you 1 in 100,000 chance. So what that basically translates out to is every 100,000 you get 101,000. So if you do the math, that's 1% extra. It also makes sense because if you know your decimals, the first is the first decimal after the point. This is the tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. So since you get 1,000, it'll bring you right up to 1%. So the second upgrade, you get 2% extra. Third upgrade, you get 3% extra. Fourth upgrade, 4%. Fifth upgrade, 5%, and it just keeps going up by 1% each upgrade. So what I'm kind of looking at this for is because I am trying to figure out, or at least why I started originally looking at this upgrade, is because I'm trying to figure out whether I want to get Grim, which gives me 20% extra calcification luck on my next ascension, or I can go the route of Battack and get increased attack rates, which would increase my money per second by quite a margin in the mine. Because basically what I have done already in this ascension is I've grinded up 7 million shiny scores, so that when my guys are in the mine, and you can also see here I have a lot of mythical shiny skins, so my pets do a lot of damage. At least the mythical ones do. My team does 2.8 million damage, and when I have them in the mine, it boosts my money up to almost 15 billion a second, so that I can grind possibly more of these. So I was just trying to figure out which might be a better route, because Grim, he is pretty deceiving. He does help out, especially in the early stages of the game, but once you start hitting the maxes and you can actually afford all of these organic recyclings in the lab, his value really starts decreasing, because you can already get 260% mythical stones just from using the lab, and then if you get him, it would just boost you up to 280%. So basically, instead of getting 3 stones 60% of the time, you get 3 stones 80% of the time. So he ends up not helping that much. So I was wondering, maybe instead of going that route and trying to boost my mythical stones that way, I could maybe afford these, and then I could boost my mythical stones that way, and I can save up for I haven't even touched my mine upgrades yet, but eventually I will. And actually I haven't even finished maxing out my metallic luck either, but I wanted to see how much this upgrade helps me towards getting these last couple upgrades, which costs 250,000 stones, which is quite a bit for each upgrade. I think it's the last 50 upgrades that cost that much. So I was really looking into how much this helps. So like I said, 1% extra. So I wanted to see how many times it's going to trigger for each time I go for this upgrade. So right now, with my odds at just the first upgrade, obviously I said, like it shows here, every 100,000 it should on average trigger. So it should trigger twice and give me an extra 2,000 stones every time I go for one of these upgrades. So in reality, I need to just grind 248,000 stones instead of the 250,000 stones, because it should give me the 2 extra thousand. And then I kind of was doing the math on, the second upgrade. So at the second upgrade, your odds are 1 in 50,000. So it's going to trigger a total of 4 times. You think 5 times because 50 times goes into, or 50,000 goes into 250,000 5 times. But when it triggers at 50,000, you're going to be at 51,000, and then at 100,000, you're going to be at 102,000, and then 150,000, you're going to have 153,000, and then at 200,000, you're going to have 204,000. So. And from that point, it shouldn't trigger again because you only have to grind another 46,000 stones. So it only triggers 4 times. In reality, you have to, on the second upgrade, you have to grind 246,000 instead of 248,000 stones. So it goes down, I found out, on each upgrade you go. So at the third upgrade, it goes down, you only have to grind 244,000. So it goes down 2,000 each time you buy an upgrade over there. But it looks like the upgrades, I don't know exactly how steep they get, but the first upgrade was $1 quadrillion. And if you look here at my badges, I've only made $7 quadrillion in my entire lifetime, and that's with my shiny score being already pretty high. So, with that being said, now it's at $10 quadrillion. So I'm just wondering how much the third upgrade is going to cost, and then the fourth upgrade, fifth upgrade, and it's only bringing my cost down per upgrade 2,000 each time. I did the math all the way up to the 13th upgrade, and when you get to the 13th upgrade, it decreases by 3,000 stones at that point each time. So it's kind of weird. But still, in reality, trying to get 13 upgrades is extremely hard. I do have to keep in mind, though, and this is kind of the confusing part I'm running into, because like I said, I was going to try to use this to boost my stones, but the upgrades increase pretty exponentially, and they get pretty bad. At least I think so. I can't really remember. I know I've gotten this at least up to 10 upgrades in my past Ascension lives. But again, I had Giants at that point, and I'm trying to get my stones boosted pre-Giants so that I can really use those stones to get Giants quicker. So what I was thinking was maybe I should still just go for Grim and not go for Battack, at least on my next Ascension. Now, I might regret this, but I don't think the extra 30% attack rate is going to really help me with those exponential growths in the cost of that upgrade, all the way up to about 6, almost 7%. That's what total boost he really gives you overall with mythical stones. He gives you about 6% boost at minimum. And this guy, like I said, he will boost my money a lot per second, especially in the mine. But with how these upgrades are going, I don't think he's going to really help me get up to 6% total. So I have to keep that in mind. Plus, like I said, Grim helps you from the very beginning, and Battack, sure, he does help you at the beginning, but not with stones necessarily, but I guess with other upgrades and stuff. He has his own benefits too at the beginning too, but definitely Grim helps you really with those mythical stones when you're trying to get those initial upgrades in the rebirth room, and then also with the generator speed, because I remember the generator speed takes forever to max, even though the calcification luck also takes a while to get those stones really going. So he really does help during those stages in the beginning. But he will definitely help you at more of the end game when you're trying to grind the stones in the mine when you already have Giants. And also a little bit before you have Giants like I have now in the stage I'm at in the game. So it is quite confusing, and I will still have to probably kind of try to calculate and do my figuring out whether I'm going to really go for Battack, or if I'm going to go for Grim instead, to try to execute my ability to get more mythical stones pre-giants, so that I can get my metallic altar built up really fast, and also get my mind strikes and my my different pickaxes upgraded as well. So what my plan is for right now, I think I'm still going to go with Grim, unfortunately, even though like I said, he's very deceiving. And so I'm going to get him, and then I'm going to try to put a lot and increase my gold here instead, to help me possibly get to get more of these upgrades on the wall for the shiny luck. So I hope I'm not making a mistake here and not going for Battack instead of going for Grim, because also Grim, once you get into the mine, he also takes his step back, because you can't generate an extra 1.5 pets per second in the mine while you're mining on a stone. And I don't think he also affects the stones coming out of the eggs, to where the shiny stone luck does affect that. So in reality, this will really help with, like I said, even those stones that are coming out of the eggs when you're mining them. And Grim will not help you with that. So I really still have a lot of thinking to do on that. But I mainly made this video so that I could show you how much the shiny stones help towards the altar. Like I said, each increment you have to only grind 2,000 less stones each time you buy one of those 0.001% upgrades over there. So hopefully this video is kind of giving you some reference on that. Obviously you eventually can start grinding more stones in the mine, and then it triggers that shiny stone luck even more often as well. But I'm thinking, with how many shinies I already have, and once I get giants going, I'll be easily able to afford these upgrades and boost it really quick anyways, without Battack's help. So again, I'm just kind of trying to process what I'm going to do in my next Ascension life. So it's also why I kind of thought of making this video about the shiny stones and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else for you guys. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Every 100 stones you grind, it averages out an extra one stone every 100. If that also will help you make sense of each upgrade. So with the first upgrade, every 100 you get 101, and this is like, again, on average. Like obviously it's not going to give you an extra one every 100, but once you hit 100,000, once you grind 100,000, you should get extra 1,000. But anyways, and then in the second upgrade, you'll get 102, or 2 extra every 100. The third upgrade, 103. The fourth upgrade, 104. So it just goes up 1% boost every time you upgrade the shiny stone luck. So hopefully, again, this helped you guys with figuring out what you're going to do as well with your ascensions, and just kind of the game plan for ascensions and what I was thinking on what I was going to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and peace out.